Hello everyone, Red Lip here. Las Vegas, the city where culinary ambitions soar higher than the Stratosphere Tower, and where even something as simple as pizza becomes an adventure worth documenting. But here's what most tourists don't realize. While everyone's fighting for reservations at celebrity chef restaurants, some of the most intriguing pizza experiences are hiding in plain sight, tucked away in food halls, downtown lounges, and yes, even breakfast counters. Today, we're embarking on a mission that sounds deceptively simple, eating nothing but pizza for 24 hours in Vegas. But this isn't about grabbing predictable slices from Secret Pizza or standing in line at Prince Street. No, we've deliberately sought out the unexpected, the overlooked, and the downright questionable to answer one burning question. Can Vegas surprise a seasoned pizza enthusiast when you venture beyond the usual suspects? We've enjoyed breakfast pizzas that blur culinary boundaries, discovered hidden gems in celebrity DJ ventures, and even pushed the definition of pizza to its absolute limits. All so you know exactly where to satisfy those late-night cravings or morning-after munchies. Ready to discover which Vegas pizza experiences are worth your gambling winnings and which ones should stay buried in the desert? Let's dive into our journey, starting at 7:30 a.m. with what might be the most controversial pizza decision you'll ever witness. 4 locations, wildly different price points, and absolutely no repeated toppings. Because if we're going to do this, we're doing it right. Stop 1. Boss Cafe Breakfast Pizza, when morning meets mozzarella. Picture this. It's 7:30 in the morning, the Strip is eerily quiet, and we're standing in front of Buddy Velastro's Boss Cafe, contemplating eggs on pizza. Yes, the cake boss himself has ventured into breakfast pizza territory. And at $13.95, this creation demands serious scrutiny. Let me paint you a picture of this morning monstrosity, or marvel, depending on your perspective. Cage-free eggs spread across a thick pizza base, strips of bacon hiding beneath layers of cheese, and a dual cheese situation featuring both American and mozzarella. The first bite reveals something unexpected. This doesn't taste like pizza at all. It's essentially a deconstructed breakfast sandwich that's borrowed pizza's form but abandoned its soul. The texture tells an interesting story, though. The bottom crust maintains that essential pizza DNA, crispy, properly charred, with enough structural integrity to support the heavy toppings. But here's where things get complicated. The fresh mozzarella on top is genuinely excellent, creamy, mild, stretching beautifully with each bite. Beneath it, however, lurks American cheese, creating a processed cheese layer that feels more diner than pizzeria. The bacon, strategically buried under the cheese blanket, offers occasional bursts of smoky salvation. Temperature-wise, this thing arrives nuclear hot, which actually works in its favor. The eggs maintain a custardy consistency rather than turning rubbery, and the cheese achieves that perfect molten state between liquid and solid. At $15 for a single slice, you're paying Cake Boss premium prices for what amounts to a breakfast identity crisis. The portion size is substantial. This thing could double as a free weight. But value isn't just about quantity. Would I recommend starting your Vegas morning with this? Only if you're the type who puts pineapple on pizza and argues it's authentic. For everyone else, grab a proper breakfast sandwich from the same location and save your pizza adventures for later. But credit where it's due. They've created something that technically qualifies as pizza while completely reimagining what breakfast can be. Stop 2. Steve Aoki's Proper Eats, the DJ who knows dough. Fast forward to 11 a.m. at Aria's Proper Eats food hall, where electronic music royalty Steve Aoki has quietly built one of Vegas's most underrated pizza operations. This isn't some vanity project slapping a celebrity name on mediocre food. This is legitimate New York-style pizza craftsmanship hiding in plain sight. We're going with 2 contrasting styles here. The meat lovers at $9.50 and the white pizza at $8.50. Already we're seeing better value than breakfast, and the quality jump is immediately apparent. The meat lovers arrives as a symphony of cured meats, pepperoni, sausage, and capicola, creating layers of flavor that build with each bite. The thin crust achieves that perfect balance between crispy and foldable, that quintessential New York characteristic where structural integrity meets flexibility. Each meat brings its own personality to the party. The pepperoni delivers that classic combination of spice and rendered fat, creating those little pools of orange oil that pizza purists chase. The sausage adds fennel-forward Italian authenticity, while the capicola brings a sophisticated, wine-cured complexity that elevates this beyond standard meat pizza. The tomato sauce plays supporting actor perfectly. Bright, slightly acidic, with just enough sweetness to balance the salt from the meats. Now, the white pizza presents an entirely different philosophy. Stripped of tomato sauce, it relies entirely on dairy and technique for success. The shredded mozzarella and Bianca sauce create a creamy, indulgent base that's almost Alfredo adjacent in its richness. This is comfort food masquerading as pizza, and while it lacks the complexity of its meaty sibling, there's something beautifully simple about its execution. The crust on both deserves special mention. At exactly 11 a.m., these were the day's first slices, meaning maximum freshness and optimal temperature. The bottom shows proper leopard spotting, those characteristic charred bubbles that indicate high heat cooking and proper fermentation. The edge crust, often neglected in food court pizza, maintains a light, airy structure with actual flavor beyond just being a handle. Here's the insider knowledge. The kitchen staff here takes genuine pride in their craft. They're not just reheating frozen pies. There's actual dough tossing, fresh topping application, and proper oven management happening behind that counter. Between the two slices, the meat lovers emerges as the clear winner. The white pizza, while competent, feels one note after a few bites, whereas the meat combination continues revealing new flavor interactions throughout consumption. At under $10 per slice in a prime strip location, Aoki's pizza operation delivers value that shouldn't exist in a casino food court. This is where locals secretly go when they want quality without the attitude or markup of dedicated pizza restaurants. Stop 3. Pizza cake. Pushing boundaries or breaking rules? The dessert course brings us to perhaps the most controversial stop of our journey. Is a cookie baked in a pizza pan actually pizza? Or are we stretching definitions beyond recognition? At $9, this Reese's cookie cake from another Buddy Velastro venture blurs more lines than a Vegas wedding chapel. They offer two options, Reese's and Oreo, and both undergo the same treatment, warming in the pizza oven until the chocolate reaches optimal melting temperature. Let's address the elephant in the room first. This is absolutely not pizza. It's a cookie masquerading as pizza, like a tribute band claiming to be the real Beatles. But since Pizza Cake boldly puts pizza in their name, we're including it in our journey, if only to establish boundaries. The base is essentially a giant cookie, thick and chewy, studded with chocolate chips and peanut butter cups. The warming process transforms it into something admittedly delightful. The chocolate becomes molten, the peanut butter cups soften to spreadable consistency, and the cookie edges develop a subtle crispness while maintaining a gooey center. M&Ms scattered across the top add textural variety and a nostalgic candy shop element. From a pure dessert perspective, this succeeds admirably. It's shareable comfort food that triggers every pleasure center associated with warm cookies and milk. The portion size easily feeds 2 to 3 people, making the $9 price point reasonable for a Vegas dessert. But calling it pizza feels like calling a hot dog a sandwich. Technically arguable, but spiritually wrong. The execution is professional, even heating, no burnt edges, proper chocolate to cookie ratio. But authenticity matters in food, and this exists in some liminal space between dessert categories. Would I recommend this? As a dessert, absolutely. It's fun, indulgent, and perfectly engineered for Instagram moments. As pizza? This is where we draw the line in the desert sand. Pizza requires certain non-negotiable elements: dough, sauce, cheese at minimum, and replacing them with cookie, chocolate, and candy creates something entirely different. It's delicious, but it's not pizza, no matter what creative liberties we take with naming conventions. Stop 4. Sand Dollar Lounge at Plaza, downtown's hidden treasure. Our final stop brings us to downtown Vegas, where the Plaza Hotel houses what might be the city's best-kept pizza secret. The Sand Dollar Lounge, primarily known for live music and pool tables, serves pizza that would make dedicated pizzerias nervous. This isn't the standard plaza pizza from Pop-Up Pizza. This is elevated Detroit-style craftsmanship that deserves far more recognition than it receives. We're sampling two options, the Sure Shot at $17 and the Fast Times at $15. The Sure Shot arrives as a maximalist masterpiece. Whole milk mozzarella, grated Parmesan, house-made tomato sauce, cup and char pepperoni, capicola, spicy Italian sausage, oven-roasted bell peppers, and mushrooms create a supreme pizza that actually earns the designation. Each topping has been thoughtfully prepared. The cup and char pepperoni creates those coveted crispy edges while pooling spicy oil in their centers, adding both textural variety and flavor concentration. The roasted bell peppers bring sweetness and char, balancing the meat's saltiness. The mushrooms, often an afterthought on supreme pizzas, taste properly sautéed rather than raw and watery. The sausage delivers genuine Italian flavor. Fennel, red pepper flakes, and proper seasoning that suggests someone actually cared about the recipe. The capicola adds that sophisticated, wine-cured depth we loved at Proper Eats, creating flavor bridges between the other meats. But the real star here is the crust. This is authentic Detroit-style execution. Thick but airy, with a bottom that's achieved perfect caramelization from proper pan preparation. The edges show that telltale frico effect, where cheese has crept down the sides and crisped against the pan, creating savory, crunchy cheese walls that are worth fighting over. The interior crumb structure is open and light, more focaccia than dense bread, allowing it to support heavy toppings without becoming soggy. The Fast Times offers a simpler pleasure, just cup and char pepperoni with the same exceptional cheese and crust combination. Sometimes less is more, and this pizza proves that quality ingredients don't need excessive companionship. The pepperoni gets full spotlight here. Each piece a perfect balance of spice, smoke, and rendered fat. The cheese blend, whole milk mozzarella with fresh grated Parmesan, creates complexity through quality rather than quantity. Temperature management is exceptional on both pizzas. They arrive properly hot, but not volcanic, allowing immediate consumption while maintaining structural integrity. The cheese pulls satisfyingly without becoming stringy rubber bands, and the sauce maintains distinct presence without overwhelming. This is professional pizza making disguised as bar food. Here's what makes this special. You're getting legitimate Detroit-style pizza in a downtown lounge for prices that match or beat strip offerings of inferior quality. The atmosphere adds value too. Live music many nights, pool tables, a full bar, and that authentic Vegas dive bar charm that's becoming increasingly rare. Between our two selections, the Sure Shot edges ahead through sheer ambition and execution. While the Fast Times perfectly execute simplicity, the Sure Shot demonstrates that supreme pizzas can transcend their often disappointing reputation when every component receives proper attention. The verdict: navigating Vegas pizza beyond the obvious. After 24 hours and 4 dramatically different pizza experiences, clear winners and lessons emerge from our carbohydrate odyssey. Let's break down the real talk on where your pizza dollars should go in Vegas. Skip the breakfast pizza at Boss Cafe, unless you're conducting your own boundary-pushing food experiments. At $14, you're paying for novelty rather than quality, and Vegas offers far better breakfast options at similar price points. Steve Aoki's operation at Proper Eats deserves immediate addition to your Vegas pizza rotation. Under $10 for legitimate New York-style slices in a prime strip location represents extraordinary value in a city that typically punishes you for convenience. The Meat Lovers specifically delivers complexity and satisfaction that rivals dedicated pizzerias charging double. This is your late-night move when casino pizza prices elsewhere insult your intelligence. Pizza cake should be appreciated for what it is, an excellent cookie dessert with identity issues. $9 for shareable warm cookie indulgence makes sense. Just don't call it pizza, and we can all remain friends. But the real revelation is Sand Dollar Lounge at the Plaza. This is where pizza knowledge separates tourists from those who truly understand Vegas dining. Exceptional Detroit-style pizza in a downtown dive bar with live music and reasonable prices? This is the Vegas magic that exists when you venture beyond the Strip's gravitational pull. The $17 Sure Shot specifically represents the best value-to-quality ratio we encountered. You're getting artisanal pizza parlor quality in a setting that adds rather than detracts from the experience. For strategic pizza consumption in Vegas, here's your playbook. Lunch at Proper Eats when you're on the Strip. Fast, affordable, genuinely good. Late night downtown at Sand Dollar when you want quality with character. Save pizza cake for when someone insists on dessert but you're maintaining the illusion of eating dinner. And Boss Cafe? Maybe just grab one of their regular breakfast sandwiches instead. The broader lesson from our 24-hour journey extends beyond just pizza. Vegas rewards those who venture beyond the obvious, who question conventional wisdom about where to find quality. Some of the city's best food experiences hide in food halls, casino lounges, and downtown dives rather than celebrity chef restaurants with 2-hour waits. The key is knowing where to look and being willing to experiment. Until we eat again, this is Red Lip saying, trust your instincts, question the hype, and never pay $14 for eggs on pizza dough. Hit that subscribe button if you want more honest Vegas food intelligence, ring the notification bell for our latest adventures, and drop a comment sharing your own Vegas pizza discoveries. Next time, we're tackling 24 hours of Vegas steakhouses. Because if we're going to destroy our cholesterol, we're doing it with style. See you at the buffet line!